Hello and welcome to Interactive Distractions, episode number 510. 510. 15,
510, I guess.
My name is Chris Riccio, and I'm here with Jeff Shorney.
What up, guys?
And Jason A. Striker.
Yo, hello.
And it took us a while to get to this point because we just couldn't get schedules to line up. We're sorry.
We are here.
But we're here. It's Tuesday. It's weird that we're recording on a Tuesday.
We're probably
recording on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about the Switch 2. We got some listener feedback from that as well. And we got some distractions for you. So let's see what's going on. Jeff, how are you, buddy?
Good. I'm fucking tired.
Tired. Why are you fucking tired, Jeff?
As an old dude yesterday. Yeah. You know Crayman.
I do know Crayman.
I go way back, and Jason knows him from way back in the VGevo days. And
One-Up days, right?
The Discord. One-Up days is where we first met him. Yeah. He hit us up, I think on Monday or Sunday, I can't remember which day it was, and he's like, "Hey, I got tickets for Disturbed if anyone wants to go." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll go to that." And Tanya's like, "Yeah, I'll go." And then
I'm not a huge fan of Disturbed, but I would certainly go see them. Like that would be a cool ass concert.
Yeah, and another buddy of mine came too because he had one extra ticket. So he's like, "Yeah, let's go." So I haven't seen Crayman, and he thinks that last time we saw each other was InDis Fest 3, which is probably possible.
Whoa.
So that would have been in like 2010 or something like that. I don't remember.
I think I saw him once when I was in California. So
yeah,
a little more recently, but still a long ass time ago.
Yeah, we saw him together, right? Because I came out there for that. It was a PlayStation. It was a Sony thing, right? The PlayStation thing.
That's right.
And he came out there for that. And then he's come down to Atlanta a couple times too. So so you guys know the dudes that I used to work with in college that joined the community, Light Edge and Jake. He met them because we all got together and went to Taco Mac and hung out, and
nice.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Cool. So yeah, we went and saw Disturbed last night, and it was awesome. They put on a fantastic show. I saw them live probably like 20 years ago. It was like after their second album came out.
Oh wow, okay.
And you know, with aging bands, it's kind of hard to tell how they're going to be live, but they were fantastic still.
Good.
David Draymond still has a killer voice.
His voice, live. God, dude, his voice is nuts.
It's unreal.
It is unreal. Like I don't get it. Like I don't know how he has like the range and depth that he's got. Like I don't get it.
Yeah. And nothing he didn't crack once. Like they did Sound of Silence live, their cover, which I think is a great cover of that song.
Yeah.
And they nailed it. It was so good. And
that's awesome.
They played for like 2 hours. They did their first album front to back, and then they had like a 20-minute intermission, and then came back into kind of like a greatest hits kind of section. Like another hour or 45 minutes or so. So yeah. So
that's really cool.
So it was late because getting home from that, like I always need time to wind down and stuff like that. So I didn't get to bed till pretty late, and working, of course, today. But other than that, nothing. Oh, I saw Minecraft last weekend. Took the niece and nephew to see that.
And
we really liked it. I mean,
really?
I know nothing about the game except for what the gist of it is, but the kids loved it. Tanya and I surprisingly liked it. Like we thought it was funny. It was a little bit, it was annoying, but also kind of, I get it. Cause like there's a lot of kids in the theater and they know all the lines and the memes and stuff. So they were like cheering and clapping after a lot, cool. Which is, I could see it being kind of like annoying to some people, but I kind of like remembered like when I saw Mortal Kombat for the first time in theaters, and that's what it was. It was a bunch of people just going crazy, and it was just, it was cool to see. But yeah,
I would guess that's what my wife thinks of me when we're watching Castlevania.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Exactly.
Especially like the last 2 episodes of the latest season. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. So I have no idea how like it pertains to the game or not, but I thought the characters, most of them were pretty funny and had some.
It's a good cast, you know. I mean, what's it? Jack Black and Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa was awesome. I think he was the best.
He's great.
Was so funny.
He's great.
Yeah, he was good.
I'm surprised, honestly, that it took this long for him to get big, because I like my wife and I used to watch Stargate and Atlantis like way back, right? And he was in that. And he was great in that. Yeah, he was really good in that. At least I thought he was. I liked his character in that show. And I'm like, why is this guy not doing anything else, right? So, and then suddenly he gets Game of Thrones, and then he takes off, right? So,
yeah.
But yeah, like even watching Stargate Atlantis, I was like, why is this guy not in more stuff? Like he's got that like he's like, he fits like the alpha male role that would be in like these big adventure movies and things like that. So
for sure. Yeah, that's about it.
Nice. Jason, what's up?
Yeah.
Not much, man, unless you count something as silly as these cool swords as something stupid and silly.
Oh no.
Look at that.
Did you buy one of those like
the Buster sword? Where did that come from?
They've been making the rounds on Facebook.
I've seen those advertised for like the last few years now.
Why do you do that to yourself, Jason?
Pull the trigger, but
check it out. It's spring loaded. Listen. Oh yeah, that's a good thing. I got a couple of these things, but yeah, that's.
Is it what other swords? Any other letter?
Yeah,
recognizable. Master Sword, nice.
That's recognizable.
I kind of figured that would be one of them.
And then this one's my favorite. This is the Guts Buster Sword.
Oh, nice.
Yes, they're fucking metal and heavy and shit.
That's cool.
Really amazing. I can't believe it. That's real dumb. But no, otherwise things have been pretty shitty around here. No pun intended.
That's not good.
Yeah, we had a sewage pipe break under our house.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that is fucked up, and it's been smelling like shit, literally, for like a month now. Because they've had a couple of people out here. They couldn't determine what was wrong. They thought it was like the sump pump or something like that. So they keep sucking out some of the moisture, but it just kept coming more and more. So, but we finally got it taken care of. The pipe's been fixed. It smells a little better.
The good thing is that the landlord took care of it. I'm glad that
yes.
Because that would have been.
It was like
just a nightmare.
Yeah.
What's that?
Wouldn't the landlord have to take care of it?
I mean, unless they tried to put it back on
unless they prove
them
that
as
you
the renters and tried to say that you guys broke it. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. But
we got sticker shock. It was like $6,800. So it's like, oh God, I hope we don't have to pay this. But no, things are smelling good, going good, and I got swords, so life is good.
Good shit.
Good stuff.
Good shit. Pun not intended.
Yeah, those kind of problems are never good. Like when I was in my old house, we had an issue where the main line that goes out to the sewer, it went under 2 big trees, and the roots of the trees had grown into the line and blocked it.
Oh,
so
God.
anytime, like if anytime we flushed a toilet or something like that, it would start to fill up the line, and ended up flooding. And the first thing that flooded was the downstairs toilet. So what we started out with just like getting it cleared out and taking down the trees, and that we thought we had taken care of it at that point. It turns out after we sold the house, literally a couple months after we sold the house, the new owner had the same problem. And what happened was when we had them check the line on what direction it went, they got it wrong. So there were 3 big trees in the front yard, and they told us to go like straight out to the sewage line, to the sewer. And there were 2 trees there. We took both those trees out. Turns out it actually went backwards through the 3rd tree, and it ended up happening again. The timing of it was just happened that after we had sold the house, I got my escrow refund from my previous mortgage at the same time that they were having the problem. And I wasn't expecting that to happen. So I was like, I'm just going to do the right thing and I'm going to take care of it. So I didn't take care of the whole thing, but I ended up I fronted the majority of the money for them to get that repaired because they fucked it up on our side. So, and that alone, like that was just replacing part of a sewage line that goes out to the sewer, like not having to, you have to just dig and replace it. And that was still like $4,700, right? It's not cheap to do that shit. So anyway, not much going on here. We've got my son's birthday's tomorrow. He turns 15.
Happy birthday.
Teenagers are rough. And then, work is work. And this weekend we're going to go to, what are we doing this weekend? We're doing he wanted to do like a cooking party with his friends. So that's what we're
Yeah, that's
doing.
cool.
We're taking them all to like they've got like I don't remember what the place is called, but you can go there and like they teach you how to cook a particular meal and things like that. So we're doing that on Saturday, and then Sunday we're going to Ren Fair. So
Oh, geez,
That's
it's
fun.
that time. Yeah.
yeah, it is that time. It is that time.
Shit, I can't go. Damn.
Is it
Mobility. Yeah, I
mobility?
just can't
Yeah.
walk. Yeah. And it's not like you could take like a scooter or like a wheelchair around that place.
Yeah,
so.
it's not exactly handicap,
Yep.
friendly.
Yeah,
Hmm.
not accessible.
Not really,
Lots of
because
mud.
it's all. Well, it's not mud. It's just all like it's all gravel, right? So it's hard to. It would be
Yep.
hard to get a wheelchair around at all. So
Yeah,
but yeah, that's pretty much it over here.
cool.
Let's talk some games.
Yeah.
What do we got, Jeff? I know you got something new. What are we talking about?
I got a couple new things
Good.
today. I'll do the quick one. Oh no, I'll do this. The big one this week was South of Midnight
Yes.
that
I've been
that
playing that
dropped.
as well.
Yes, and I know Jason's played that as well, so we might as well go to that first. Technically it dropped today, but I sprung for the early access because it's a budget title, so the early access on it was like $15 or something like that. So
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
like,
only $10 here. So
yeah,
or like
that makes sense.
$9 with a Game Pass subscription. It was
That's right.
it was phenomenal.
A 10% discount. So I started playing that on I think it was the Friday or something like that. And the story is it takes place in like the deep south, kind of like New Orleans type play, like Cajun area, and you're a girl named Hazel, and hurricane hits and wipes your house away with your mom still in it.
Very like Wizard of Ozzy, not like it destroys
Yes.
the house, but it's like swirling through the water and shit, and she's still in the house and
Yeah,
whatnot.
and
So
you're trying to run and like catch up to it. She ends up like kind of like falling. She wakes up and then she's getting these powers. Turns out she's what they call a weaver, and the whole game's based off of like folklore and stuff like urban legends stuff from the South. So it's a bunch of stories where it's telling these legends and these kind of like fables. And she's gaining powers as she's going through, and it's telling stories of like these characters she runs into, and some of them are pretty fucking depressing. um,
yeah,
but
there's some
yeah,
kind of heavy stuff going on.
yeah, there's a couple that I was like, damn, that's fucking harsh, and they display them all in kind of like a ghostly scenario where you come across like parts of the story, and it shows kind of like other games have done this where it just shows like kind of like a like ghostly figures like in the past showing like different stages of what's happening in their lives.
Like a
And
memory.
the whole thing's
Sort of.
presented in like that. It's not quite stop motion, but it kind of looks like that Enter the Spider-Verse type animation where it's like
Yes.
janky sort of.
It looks janky. It looks like it's bad frame rate. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't look like
purposeful jank. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it's purposely done like that. It is. You can turn that off. And if you do, it's 60 frames per second in either one. It just takes a minute at least for me, for my mind to kind of be like, it's not really bad frame rate, and it doesn't look like terrible frame rate. It just looks weird. Like it looks like the frame pacing's way off. So especially when you're like in combat, I'm always wondering like what the timing should be on certain things. But I got used to it. I didn't turn that off because I was like, I turned it off for a bit just to see what it looks like, and I was like, it loses some of that style when you do that. So it's kind of like not what they wanted. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just keep it on. And after like an hour.
So if you turn it off, it'll still remain in the cutscenes, which is where it's I think most effective. So I did actually end up turning it off. But
oh, did you?
I'm still getting the effect.
Gotcha. I guess I don't think I knew that it turns off just for the like when you're controlling her in combat and stuff, which would make sense. But I'm pretty much at the end. I think I have one more chapter left. So
damn! How many chapters so far? I don't think it's a spoiler.
There's 14 chapters, and I think I'm on chapter 13.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not that far. I'm like chapter 3, I think. So I just started playing it yesterday or the day before.
Is it a quick burn, Jeff? Is it like how long?
It's not that long. I would say like 10 hours, probably.
Oh, that's not bad. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is this a Game Pass game?
It is, yes.
Oh, let's go download it.
It's a Game Pass. Now, it is. I think it's $40 if you want to buy it right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Totally.
So we'll get into more game pricing later in the show, but it is kind of feel like that's kind of what they should charge for this, because it definitely feels like an old game. Not in terms of visuals and presentation. I think the presentation is fantastic. The voice acting is great. But the traversal and the combat definitely feels like that 360 PS3 era type
For like
stuff.
character action kind of stuff. Sure.
Yeah, like light, like character
Yes.
action light type stuff.
Mhm.
The combat can feel kind of weird at times, and there's not a lot of stuff you can do in combat. You do open up more skills as you move on, but some of the upgrades you get for the skills don't feel that like
Impactful or
yeah, exactly. Thank you. That impactful once you get all like the upgrades. Like they do get better, and you do get better at the combat, but the combat does kind of get repetitive after a while. And in accessibility, you can actually turn off the combat entirely if you want to.
yeah, you
Oh,
can
really?
just straight up skip boss battles too.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah,
yeah. You can skip
If you just
all the
want like
combat.
the pure story, that's the way to go.
exactly.
Yeah, and then like basically the platforming and the story, and like there's some very very minor puzzles, and it's very linear. There's some open areas and ways like you can go down different paths to get like upgrade materials, like this essence you get to upgrade your stuff. But
They're called floofs.
floofs, yeah, they're called floofs.
They're called floofs.
Yes.
Yes, they're floofs because they're
Okay.
they are, and you're kind of like you're ridding the world of this stuff called the stigma, and it kind of has that. Oh shit! I'm gonna say the name wrong. Jason's gonna get mad. Kenna.
Kana.
Sorry,
Kana. Yeah, it's Kana.
Kana, where it's like you get into a battle arena, and then once you finish it, like flowers start to bloom and stuff. It makes it more colorful, and it opens up the path where you can keep going.
Kena was a great game too. This looks like, dude. I'm watching the video on Steam right now, and I love the monster design. I remember us talking about this because we absolutely talked about the Purpose Jank, right?
Yes, we did.
And I still am very interested in this. I'm gonna download it for sure.
Yeah, it's fun, and it's a quick burn, and it's like a story. Even for the story and the way it tells it, and the characters and the voice and the music. The music is so good. It's great. It's like that southern type kind of like blues, like very basic songs but catchy, and the songs are about like one of the early chapters. I'm sure Jason's played this. Is the two brothers, and one of them does something not so cool to the other one, and the song that happens as it's building up to when you're going to get to the boss battle of that or the end of that chapter is just it's a dark song, but it's catchy as hell. it's pretty cool. Me and Tanya were kind of like humming it like the next day. It was pretty funny.
Nice.
But yeah, so far I would recommend it, especially if you have Game Pass. Definitely try it out. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than that. It's just fun. Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
I'm really digging it too. Like the combat is just serviceable, I think, but it's more or less like the aesthetic that's really, really carrying this game, and it's fantastic. I think it's just kind of what I need right now as well. Like it's very low stakes.
Yes.
Good story. Looks great. Sounds good. Yeah. It's a no-brainer. I think it's really good.
If you like video games, it's a good one.
And it's a video game.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people, like not a lot of people, but the reviews are very polarizing on this. Like, there's high reviews and low reviews, and like it's fun. I watched the Kind of Funny like review panel, and like Greg and I think it was Tim gave it like a 9 out of 10, and the other two gave it like a 7. Like, and just their polar opposites and how like they looked at it, and some of them complained about the platforming. I thought the platforming was fun. It's not skill-based platforming, which is fine for me, but you have the double jumps, the air dashes, the gliding down, the zip line, like the hooks, the grappling hook type thing, and linking all those together in certain stages is fun. It's just fun. It's a lighthearted game with some heavy undertones, and it's pretty cool. But
I'm definitely gonna check it out.
I should have that finished probably tomorrow.
Good, nice stuff.
Yeah, and the other one that was new was what's the name of it? Mad Jack.
I don't know.
Mullet Mad Jack.
I think it's called Mad Jack Mullet or something. No, Mullet
yes,
it's on Game Pass.
It is on Game Pass. That's why I tried, and it was getting good reviews, and I saw like good word of mouth, and it's kind of like a first person version of like Hotline Miami is like the best way I can kind of put it. But you're basically going really really fast. The premise is humans can only live for 10 minutes or 10 seconds at a time unless they get like a dopamine hit. So there's a streamer who's doing this like show where you're taking part in it, and the people will give you likes when you like kill people. or whatever, and like that's how you so it's played at 10 seconds at a time, and you're going through these levels really fast, and you got to shoot people, whatever. And it's also a roguelite, so you open up different weapons and stuff, and between each level you can pick a different weapon, like armor, do whatever. And it's really high pace. And I thought at first, I'm like, I'm not gonna like this. And I did only play it for a bit, like 20 minutes or so, but I did enjoy it. I'm gonna give it another shot. It was a pretty cool game. It's really stylized too. Like it kind of looks like a Hotline Miami, but with polygons and like kind of like cell shaded sort of in a way.
It's got a cool, unique look.
It does, yeah. And your character has like a mullet, so that's funny.
Yeah, it is mullet magic. I looked it up.
Mullet magic, gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, cool. But I'll talk about more of that next week if I play it some more. But that's it for the new stuff.
Okay, cool.
Jason.
Nothing new. Yeah, just the South of Midnight. Played a little more Monster Hunter. They put out the Title 1 update, which has been pretty substantial so far, as far as like balancing, adding new content, fixing a bunch of shit. Like they've improved the frame rate kind of across the board, but I mean not to a huge degree or anything like that. But certainly substantial, which is great. That's what they've really needed to do. As far as the content, there's an event quest. They've got, I think, 2 new monsters that they've added. Mitsusune, I forgot the other one, but it was like a tempered something. But I haven't fought Mitsusune yet. But I did fight the enemy that I had to fight to open up the battle hub, which is the hunter, the hunter lodge or whatever, which is like an open area that has, all the stuff that you need. It's got, crafting and cooking and all that. Oh, cats cook again and they serve you food.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Good.
Perfect.
So thank God for that.
It's saved.
Yes.
The game is saved.
The game is saved.
Capcom, I'm no longer boycotting you.
I want everyone to re-rate the game, please.
Yes.
All press.
Doesn't really show them cooking so much. It's just like running directly to you with like these big backpacks that are full of food.
So they're like Uber Eats deliveries. Like
yeah, exactly. They bring it to you. It's
Perver Eats. Yep. I don't know, kind of something like that.
Okay.
Uber Eats.
No, that would work. Sounds like pervert eats, but
it does. Yeah.
That's okay. Whatever you're into. No kink shame.
Yeah, we don't judge.
Yep. That's trying to think of what else like substantial is going on. They still haven't let you layer the weapons yet, which is still something that I would like to see, and I think a lot of people are in agreement. But yeah, it's been pretty good so far. I've just
what do you
done
mean
stuff
layer
solo.
the weapons?
Like a transmog.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They do it with the armor. You can choose that as your layered option, but not weapons yet. So like everybody's running around with
with the same shit.
Yeah, the artisan weapons or whatever, or teaching, or I forget what the fuck they're called. I don't care.
Something like that. It looks like artisan, but it's not. I don't remember what it is. It's like Ardian or something like that.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Ardian.
Is it Ardian?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I couldn't remember.
I
haven't played any of the new stuff yet. I played. I went in and I started trying to take out some of the quests that I have. And I haven't gotten back to playing with someone else between some the other games I've been playing. So
I mean, Monster Hunter's gotten to the point where it's totally cool if you want to do solo now. So
yeah.
They even give you the.
I feel like it's something that I don't feel like I have to play it religiously. Like I could go back to it whenever.
Yep.
I still think the 3 of us should play together. I think that would be really fun. Like we haven't done that yet, so we should.
I want to go bomb bowling
make it a point to do that.
Yeah, we got to do the bowling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't done that yet either.
I mean, we can throw
bombs down a hill.
Too.
It's great.
Yeah. Hunting monsters is the secondary game in that.
That's right. That's right.
Forward. Yeah. First is
cat cooking. Yeah.
Yep. And, cat cooking and
is arm wrestling back?
The arm wrestling is back in a big way. Oh my god. Funny. It's fixed. Just go play it. Everything's great.
To boot that up.
Damn it. There's still some jank in that fucking game. It's Monster Hunter, so I love it.
Yeah, it's Monster Hunter, so there always will be.
Yep. I hope so. Purpa-jank.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yep. All right, Chris.
Let's see. What am I doing? Jeff, you haven't talked about Assassin's Creed yet, so let's talk a little bit about Assassin's Creed.
Sure.
I've gotten I want to say a little bit further. I've only played it about another 6 or 7 hours. But I've already started doing this on the map, just going from question mark to question mark. It's like, where's my objective? Fuck that. Let's just go around here.
Did you turn on the objectives?
Like, I did, yeah. Well, I just turned it on with the question marks, and then once you get on the horse, you can put the GPS on.
Yeah.
That's
You're
how I'm doing
the thing where you have to send out scouts and stuff to find all that stuff and find out where your objective is and stuff like that.
I am doing that. Yeah, I do have.
You are doing that.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Well, it said there's trophies that you get with it, so I'm like, I'll just get the trophy and then I'll turn it on. So I'll go look at what it is, and then once I get it, I'll turn it on. Yeah, I got to do some of the real sneaky stuff. I had fun with that. Like the first area, that like level 4 or 5 area that you're in, there's that one big town, Osaka. Is that it?
Osaka is the first big one. Yeah.
And I went in there and I'm like, maybe I'm not ready for this. And then I was like, fuck it, let's go. So I just went in and I was like, okay, I have to take out 3 samurai. Mm-hmm. And then I got to find the loot chest. So took out the first samurai, found the loot chest, and I'm like, all right, I just got to find the other 2 samurai and then come back and get the loot chest. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It's when you get into a fight, when you're on a roll with the combat, it feels really good. But as soon as you miss, like for me, it's like, it's over.
Oh, yeah.
Like as soon as I fuck up a parry, it's over. Like
it's a rhythm thing, yeah.
Yeah. She's so squishy that it's like if I misjudge one shot or forget that this guy's going to throw a red attack into a combo and I try and parry instead of dodging, it's over. Like I can't. I have trouble recovering.
Yeah. She's very squishy at the beginning.
She's very squishy, but when the shit works, like it feels good. Like I like the way it feels. And the sneaking is great, and it feels like honestly, I get a lot of it's pretty obvious, but it should be obvious, but I get a lot of Ghost of Tsushima vibes from the game in general. Just like the aesthetic and the way it looks and the way it plays,
the
even
thing.
Yeah. I mean, Sakai was one of the areas in Tsushima too, right?
I couldn't tell you.
I feel like it was. I don't remember.
I have a terrible fucking memory when it comes to like game retention. Like,
yeah, me too.
I finished Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like, I rolled credits on it, and I honestly don't remember a lot of the main story points, to be honest with you. Partly because. Sorry, go ahead.
It's the main story is get the box, right? Isn't that the whole story?
Well, that's like the main gist of it, and they get revenge or whatever. But like the way that these games do the main story, because it jumps around so much, like, and you do so much stuff in between. Like I was forgetting who characters were so quick. Like they would do like a pan up from like someone's foot, and you're doing that obviously like, oh my god, it's that person, and then I'm like, have I met this person before? Yeah. I'm like, I actually had to look up a thing afterwards, like the story explain thing, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, because I was totally, I guess I zoned out at a certain point. It was just kind of like going to the markers that I needed to go, and I kind of wasn't. I was watching the cutscenes, but I was like probably like on my phone or scratching my bum or something, and just not like really paying attention. That being said, I did like it overall. So
yeah. So far, I'm enjoying it. I honestly am not a fan of like the meditation flashbacks at this point.
They're only heavy at the beginning.
You can turn those off as well. Like,
can you? Well, I mean, I want to go through it and understand like what she's going through and that kind of thing. But
I take it back. You can cut out the mini game that's associated with those flashbacks. You know how you have like the rhythm thing.
Yeah. I'm not as worried about that. It's like for me, it's when you get into the flashback and everything is like everything changes for you because you're basically playing her as a level 0, shinobi or something like that. So
they Metroid you every time you go into one of those.
Every time you go in one of those, you get Metroided and you don't have any of your shit. So it's like you'll start doing something that you're used to doing in the game, and then you're like, oh, I forgot, I don't have that because flashback, right? So I think that's my biggest gripe with them. It's like I like the idea of doing that sort of flashback, but don't make things like super combat heavy when I can't use the shit that I've earned in the game. It's like it feels weird.
And because you can do them in any order too, and when you stumble upon them, so it teaches you stuff that you've been using for 2 hours that you're like, oh, this is because they're essentially tutorials.
Yeah,
of like different things that she can do, and some of the stuff you know how to do before you even get there.
Mm-hmm.
The story parts are still cool, but
yeah, like I mean, there's a flashback about when she gets the grappling hook, and it's after the prologue where you use the grappling hook. It's like I don't understand what the hell why? What's the reasoning behind that? Don't know. But it's still a lot of fun, so I've been enjoying it. And then Split Fiction. So Jeff and I.
Before we move on from Assassin's Creed, I just want to get my final thoughts on it. So I did what I thought was going to happen did kind of happen. Probably around like the 30-hour mark, 35-hour mark, I started to just kind of mainline it.
Okay.
I got tired of doing the side stuff because as much as I do like the game, like the minute-to-minute stuff, there's hardly any variety to the missions at all in that game, even compared to like other Assassin's Creed games I've done. They do a cool one kind of towards the beginning where you go to like a tea party, and I'm like, oh, cool, maybe there'll be more stuff like this, but there isn't. So you get to the point where you're like, once you get to your location, what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to either like kill a certain amount of people, kill waves of people, get 4 feathers or whatever. And so I was like, okay, it's now time to mainline it. So I did start to mainline it, and I think I rolled credits at around 45 or 50 hours.
Okay.
That's when I call it. And I think I'm glad I did that, because I think if I didn't do that, I probably would have gotten burned out and maybe not finished it. But that being said, it's probably my favorite Assassin's Creed.
That's saying something.
Overall, yeah, because outside of those little like things I didn't like, the mission variety, I did really like the gameplay a lot, especially with Naoe. Yasuke, I think, could do some improvement for the DLC and stuff like that, just because I think he's kind of useless outside of combat. But that, I think, is my favorite. But I think like Black Flag is still my favorite in terms of like setting and characters. If they can just blend those two together like really well for the next one, I think I'll really like it. But I mean, it's the only proper Assassin's Creed game I finished. So or rolled credits on. Yeah, okay. Outside of Mirage, Mirage isn't a mainline one, so that's like a side story. But that's it. I really liked it. I think it's worth playing for sure, especially if you like the series. Interesting to see what you think, Chris, when you finish it up. And knowing you'll probably put like 80 to 100 hours into it. So.
I don't know, man. I think because I get to where you said you were. Like it gets to the point where there's a bit of tedium involved, and it's like, all right, I think I might be done with doing these things. So we'll see how it goes. Like I did enjoy going. I went through 2 of the locations that you can basically clear out and find the treasure and stuff like that. And that stuff still feels fun to me. So as long as that's that's holding my attention, I'll probably stick with it.
Well, just because there's a lot of that. So as long as that's still holding and basically it's as long as that holds your attention to is pretty much the lifespan.
Gotcha. Good stuff. But yeah, as I alluded to before, I have been still playing Split Fiction. Jeff and I have been trying to go through it. So this is his second run through. So I'm still kind of getting used to everything. But man, I feel like every 5 minutes in this game, Jeff and I are talking about how creative things are and like how they come up with things. And it's like, I truly think that the creators of this game were like, what genre should we make? And they just said, yes. And it's like, everything is fucking there. Like there's a little of everything. And what's remarkable about that is that there's a little of everything and it all feels pretty damn good. Like it's not top of class on everything it does, but everything feels pretty damn good. I've gotten to the point where I am in love with both of these characters. Like I really feel for both of them and their stories and like what they're going through, and like the locales are fantastic. The missions are interesting. They're so different from one to the next. And I am just really, really enjoying this game. And you know, if you don't have someone to play this with, try and find someone to play this with, like, because it's that good. Like I know I'm going to play it through a second time, and yeah, if somebody wants to play it, let me know. I'll play it a third time. Like the game it's really good. It's really good.
We should finish it our next session. We should be able to knock it out.
Yeah, I think Jeff and I talked about there's probably like 2 stages left.
2 main sections left. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's great. It's fantastic. It's absolutely going to be on my game of the year list. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. Yeah, but that's it for me. So cool. Let's talk some
Switch 2 excitement.
Yes, that.
So that happened. Nintendo had their Switch 2 reveal and direct last week. I guess it was on Thursday or Friday. I can't remember now. Might have been Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
So we're recording this on Tuesday, like Chris said, and a lot of stuff has happened since then. So they revealed this thing.
Like, I'm kind of glad.
Not much that's been good, at least in my opinion. So,
so they did reveal it. Pre-orders were supposed to go up tomorrow, April 9th. Well, let's cover what they showed, I guess, first. Anything that caught your guys' eye that they showed?
Mario Kart, baby.
Post-mortem, sorry.
Mario Kart, baby.
Yeah.
So I was interested in that because I was the first thing that I thought of was like, they got some Burnout Paradise in my Mario Kart. Like, that's the first thing that went to my head. It's like they have like it's like a big map now, and you can go wherever you want, and like there's opportunities to just ride around in the city, and like I thought that was really cool. So it's kind of a new step for them. So I like that they're being creative in that respect. But yeah, other than that, you know, Mario Kart 24 players, isn't that what they said? Something like that.
24 online, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy amount of chaos.
24 local. Yeah, you just think of
23 people that can blue shell your ass. That's what that means.
Oh, dude, I watched a little footage from the Treehouse direct part. And there was a situation where you could actually hop up on a side rail, grind on that, and then ride the wall, and it completely evaded a blue shell.
Oh, wow, nice.
So he's like, styling on this fucking blue shell. It was amazing.
It looks awesome.
I like that. They're adding like skill focus to it. It's like if you have the ability, you can get out of getting hit by one of those things. That's like great.
Yeah. I don't know if, to be honest, I don't know if you did it on purpose, but it looked awesome.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Even they were kind of surprised. They're like, that blue shell didn't hit you. So it's like, well, hopefully, maybe that is like a mechanic that's like, because that'll be helpful instead of just that horn thing that would do it.
Right.
So they did announce a price for that. That is $80 and $90, which I'm sure we'll get into more of that. $80 for the digital version, $90 for the physical. That was a head scratcher. Sorry.
Fuck you, Nintendo. Yeah. What are you doing? I'm so pissed about that.
They are going to have upgrades for some select Switch games, Switch 1 games, like for the Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. There's a couple other ones, but those are the ones they kind of primarily showed off, which do look good. They are 4K 60. The screen on, but I don't know if they've released the price for the upgrades yet. They are free if you have a Nintendo Online subscription. So there's that.
I heard they were $30.
That is insane if they're 30.
I don't know if that's accurate.
Look that up. There's physical versions that you can buy that has the DLC included, or the Switch 2 like modifications or whatever. And those are like regular priced.
Yes.
But that kind of makes sense because it's the whole game.
Okay, so I must have heard wrong.
Is it just $10? I think
it looks like it might be $10, which is reasonable. Like, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Technically, I don't think it should be any amount. I mean, it's on a PC. They don't charge you more if you have a better rig than the person next to you. So it's like it's something that I think that they should probably look into, and they won't because it is Nintendo. And I think Sony charges for their upgrades as well, I think, too. So
for some of them,
yeah.
I do like the idea of them being free if you have a Nintendo Online account. That's good.
At least there's that. Exactly. There's that. The C button that was talked about, that is a chat button. So that you click that, you can bring up your friends and chat with them. So this is a brand new feature in 2025 that,
Oh wow, that's amazing.
hasn't been around for fucking 25 years.
If only there was a way for us to get together and talk on the internet at the same time.
We're gonna be able to talk on our console
while playing a game. I don't understand. Like, how does this? I do like that they basically gave you like screen sharing while you're chatting, but
yes,
at the lowest possible frame rate and resolution.
It was, I was gonna say it looks awful now.
At least they were honest with that.
It is quite cool, to be honest. Like I would love to be able to check in on Jeff to see how he's doing with Mario Kart or whatever.
Yeah, because you can buy the camera, so it does have the Kinect and the iToy back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, and it is like they started showing off games that are going to use the camera like they're playing Kinect games. I'm like, are we really doing this again? I don't understand. Like, didn't we already go through this? Like, anyway,
that's a thing. I mean, it is cool, like, to do the chat thing, like if like Jason's playing Tears, you're playing Mario Kart, and I'm playing like Metroid 4, which does look awesome, but they're obviously showing the Switch 2 version this time, which does look significantly better than, at least I thought it looked better than what they showed at the Direct they showed the week before. But there's still no release date on that yet, which is kind of strange. I'm sure it's still this year. We just don't know when. But I like how you could see everyone playing. It shows their screen and their person what they're playing. It's kind of cool. It's a neat thing you will do the day you get your Switch 2, if you get a Switch 2.
And then probably never again, unless you need help on a game or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm stuck on this part. Have you done this yet?
Kids will love it.
Hey, if you guys all get cameras and want to get naked and play Uno, I'm your guy. I'm your guy. They have Uno.
I'm your guy. Let's get Uno. That's why that's why we haven't played Monster Hunter yet. We're waiting for the Switch 2 port so we can actually talk while we play it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
because you can't do that on anything else.
Anything else? The Dreamcast? No, actually, the Dreamcast you couldn't do it. But
you need that Nintendo Wi-Fi dongle to be able to connect to the internet. I'm afraid.
Probably, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, we're getting a little spicy here, guys.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, that's a new one. It's a 3D platformer where Donkey Kong, where you can smash through shit. It's like fucking Red Faction Gorilla. That's the joke I see going around.
Oh, it's so nice. Yeah,
nice. That's good.
Yeah, and it does look pretty cool.
It looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Like, listen, I didn't play any of the Donkey Kong Country games because they weren't very interesting to me.
Yeah, weren't.
But this looks good. Like, I would play that. I played Bonanza. It looks good.
Go anywhere, destroy everything. It seems to be the motto.
Only $70 for that one. So there's a weird pricing tiering system going on. They did say that they're going to have different kinds of carts now. Some games are going to be on the memory card that you buy with the physical. Some aren't. They're literally going to be essentially a blank cartridge with just a little bit of data on it to hold the unlock key to download the game.
I hate this.
Yep.
I hate it. I hate it. When we have literal micro SD cards that can hold a terabyte of data, there's no reason you can't put the game on the card.
Well, I think their reasoning is because a lot of companies necessarily don't want to make physical versions, but there's people that want the box, I guess, because it's cheap for them. If there's nothing on the card, it's going to be really cheap to manufacture, right? I would assume.
Then, I guess it would be cheaper.
Cyberpunk's going to have a 65 gig cart. So that's feeling I think that's $70 as well. But so they're still going to charge at least $70 for these blank ones that are just going to essentially be a download code, right?
I would guess,
just a license that you've got on a card, like a Bitcoin or some shit. It's fucking weird.
And the other thing I can think of is it's transferable license. It's because games do this now where you buy it and it's just a digital code. Use that code once, it's gone. Like That's can't.
True. Did they verify that?
What do you mean?
Yes.
So they verified that if you give someone the card.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's nice.
Because you have to have you still have to have the
card
right? Plugged in. Yeah, it still has to be in the console to play. It'll just unlock it and download it for you. So that's a bunch of like that's totally like now. Probably I will. Right now I get up 95% of my stuff on Switch physical. just because I like to have the card. But now
Yeah,
that's
me
probably
too.
gonna change because now it's like, and this is a stupid thing that bugs me as someone who likes the box. It looks like those cartridges aren't even going to have the game art on the cartridge. It looks like it's
No.
just going to be a gray cart with the
Yeah.
red on it.
And they're
And
still
that
going to taste like shit, I guess.
Probably 100%. Yeah.
Like, put a little fucking, I don't know, strawberry jam on it for
Yeah,
flavor. Make it smell like cotton
exactly.
candy.
If you're gonna fuck me in the butt, at least make it
Yeah.
taste good. I mean, Jesus.
You know, and I think honestly, more than anything for me, it's probably just something that I need to get over, because in reality, it's like, how do you play Xbox and PlayStation games? You know, yeah, the data's on the disc, but they just put it on the hard drive anyway, right?
And most of the time, it's not even
And
the
most
full
of the time,
game. And if
yeah,
it
you're
is,
downloading a lot
there's
of shit
a 10
anyway.
gig day one update or something.
Yeah,
that fixes
yeah.
a lot of shit and makes it actually playable.
I think I'm just letting my
I think
old
Chris,
grouchy self
you're slightly
be
behind
upset.
me on this kind of like realization where I'm kind of being like, I think I just need to get rid of the whole I want things physical thing, because it doesn't it doesn't
I can't do it.
it doesn't help me as a gamer. Like the play anywhere stuff,
It's inconvenient.
It's so convenient, and it's like, why am I just so I can have it on a shelf?
Yeah, it's not just putting in a cart or a disc anymore. You know, you guys mentioned that. Yeah, it's not as easy as just hitting download on the store. So
exactly, or playing it on my Xbox and being like, let's say one day I get a PC, it's like I just have the game there, or going from my Series X to my Series S, like it's just there. Like I don't need to switch discs around and carry them with me and stuff like that. And I'm sure Sony's
what am I
going to
put on my shelf, Jeff?
That's the thing.
That's
what am I going to put on my shelf?
Trust me, Chris, it hurts. But
how do I know what games I have?
How do I even show off my stuff? Yeah, I get it.
How do I get joy from looking at my physical items?
I know. Oh,
dude, you're joking, but I do that with movies. Like
I'm not joking. I'm quite serious. It's like I got a big fucking shelf of shit behind me. It's, you know, and
it's cool to look at every once in a while.
Is even back there, and like only half of my Switch shit is back there because I ran out of room.
Yeah, and every once in a while I'll grab a steelbook from my thing and be like, "Oh, this was cool," and then I'll put it right back and be like, "I'm probably never gonna play that game again."
Yeah,
and it's like.
But at least I have the steelbook.
Like I've been going through my collection lately and just like pricing it on like that site I was telling you guys about in the Discord, the quick flips or whatever. And I'm like, I think I'm ready to get rid of some of this shit that actually has some value, because what's the point of it sitting on my shelf that has a value if I'm not going to do anything with it? Like a lot of the stuff I haven't even touched. I have a copy of Strider 2 for PS1 that I think I got it at MGC or something for like $15 or something like that. And I can get like 85 by sending it to this place.
Damn.
So it's like I haven't touched that game since whatever that year was. Went to MGC. I think it might have been the first year. I can't remember what year it was. So, and there's other ways you can play that game. So, anyway, back to the Switch 2. What are some other stuff that well, the price. So what is the price? So there it is. You might have to correct me on the price here because I'm so used to Canadian prices. Is it $4.99 for the Mario Kart bundle and $4.49 for the regular one?
For the regular one. Yeah.
Gotcha.
At least that's what they're saying. Like, so they've put a pause on pre-orders because of dumbass and his tariffs. So we'll see how that all works out. But
yeah. We will see how that works out. Probably sooner than later, because I think tonight's was the deadline or something like that. So we might find out tomorrow, maybe what their plan is. But yeah, pre-order's supposed to go up tomorrow for you guys and us. Then they delayed the US one tentatively till they figure this out, and they just delete
the date. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they delayed the Canada one now too, because they want to keep North America all the same launch at the same time, which makes sense. We won't get hit with if there is an increase to the price of the console because of the tariffs, we shouldn't get that. But I guess they just wanted to keep it all North America's one at the same time. Because right now you can pre-order right now, I think in the UK. I think pre-orders went live today.
Yep.
So all those stock are getting out there, and we're just sitting here like, oh, all the Nintendo people are like, what the fuck, man? So everyone's pissed off. So what do you guys think about the price? Not only the console, but also the games.
I probably could handle the price of the console. It's the price of the games I can't. I mean, I feel like this is Nintendo doing what they did in N64 time. And it's like, oh, we can do anything. You know, we're Nintendo and everybody loves us. So we're going to pull this bullshit like Sony did with the PS3. Yeah, we're going to pull this bullshit, right? And now what Sony did with the PS5 Pro, right? It's just the problem is I think people are going to still buy it. So all of our prices are going to go up to $80 minimum, right? For big games.
Yep.
Like all
for
of
the
the
first
all
party
the
stuff that I only want the Switch 2 for in the first place. So
yeah, and like but even other publishers are going to start charging that much.
Oh, 100%. Grand Theft Auto 6 will be $100.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you at all. I think that's what's going to happen. You know, we saw and we've seen. Here's the thing: we have seen these types of prices for games before. It's not unheard of. Super Nintendo days, there were games that were that much.
Yeah.
You know,
Different
Chrono
times,
Trigger,
though.
yeah,
Like
Chrono Trigger, I'm pretty sure was like $70-$80. Fucking, if you wanted to, you could get Virtua Racing on Sega Genesis, and it was $100.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, Phantasy Star 4 was $100 when it came out.
That was a pricey bitch, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like we haven't seen these prices before, but those games also didn't sell. So, you know,
they didn't sell, and they were as expensive as hell to
Chrono Trigger
manufacture.
did.
They had chips in them, they had batteries in them, a lot of them. Like, they were expensive.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was going, because then what you saw was Nintendo going the cartridge route, thinking that they can continue to do what they were doing, and they were selling games for $70-$80.
Yeah.
And PlayStation came out, and it's like, all our games are $50, you know, and it's like, holy shit, budget, right? And then PS2, it was still $50. And then PS3, I think, is where we started seeing 60 again, right?
It's gone from 60 to 70, or this generation.
Yeah. And now we're talking about, and that's the thing. Now we're talking about 70 to 80, and we haven't even jumped a generation.
Yeah.
We're still talking about PS4 level shit.
Yeah.
They've been grooming us for quite some time with digital deluxe versions, with early access, shit like that are $10, $20, $30 more than what the regular retail is for just the base model, as it were.
Yeah.
So
that's true. Just kind of taking that shit away. They've been trying, and they've been pushing.
They've been working because they know there's that market. But the difference there is, at least those ones you have the choice to pay the extra to get it early, or wait and get it for the standard. But Nintendo's based like, no, we're gonna charge that. Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're making it, you know, somewhat like acceptable, because you've paid that much for Assassin's Creed before, right? You know, why not this much for Mario Kart, right?
Yep. And Ted Bowser, or whatever is the head of Nintendo is now, but the fact that his last name is Bowser is hilarious.
Yep.
He came out and said they're looking at a more variable rate pricing for their games, which
surge pricing at 3 a.m. when you're fucking drunk off your ass. And
surge pricing. Everything goes up. That's so true. Which on paper I'm 100% for, but it's not going to work the way that consumers want it. Like, it would make sense to be like, hey, games that cost like $300 million to make, whatever, they cost whatever on a high side, then there's a midpoint, like a budget point. But that's not the way it's going to roll. Anything close to being popular, or they think is going to sell, is going to be those prices. And the way he laid it out was literally like, we're going to look at how, you know, development costs and popularity, and like, you know, what
you're going to look at sales.
Is there.
You're going to look at sales.
Yeah, you're going to look at how much, like Pokemon, like that's going to be
$80, $80, $90 too.
It's be $80. Yeah, there's no way it's not going to be.
Yeah, because people will buy it. And that's the thing. It's like, this is the scenario. This is where voting with your dollars counts. So like, I put my name I put my name in to be notified when they go up for pre-order, and then after I started seeing all the bullshit with the price of the games, I'm not buying one at launch. There's no way.
Full transparency, I'm pre-ordering one if I can. I'm still buying one day one.
Yeah, like I've mainly because I've got the money set aside for this, and I really only want Mario Kart and maybe one other game. But that's enough.
And that's the thing. It's like, I don't really care about Mario Kart.
I
It's
love
like I can't even
love
remember.
Mario
I can't even
Kart.
remember the last time I played Mario Kart.
Mario Kart's a
Mm.
system seller for me, man, and it has
Is it?
been ever since. 100%. Ever since the
Okay.
DS, anything that had Mario Kart, like I had to get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
I put so much hours into Mario Kart. Like during the pandemic, we had Mario Kart nights weekly for a good long
Oh,
time.
nice. That's cool.
Bunch
That's
of
cool.
us, yeah. We'd have anywhere from like 8 to 12 of us, pretty much, like any given night. So yeah, but also like, because Nintendo knows, and like we can hate it. It's not like Jason and I are going to try to get one day one, but it's not like we're not backing up these ideas at all. Like they suck, but they're kind of right. Like the Nintendo games are awesome. The console's not going to drop in price. The games aren't going to drop in price. So for me to be like, if I have the means to buy
They
one
will
now,
if you don't buy them. Like
yeah, true.
that's like wasn't there was another
The
console that
3DS.
the 3DS was like that, right?
Yeah.
Where people didn't buy it and then they ended up dropping it. And
True.
the fucking Wii U, right? People didn't buy it and then they ended up moving to the Switch because that's what they should have built in the first place. So
Yeah, but that was because they were but they didn't drop the price of that stuff. It wasn't like
that's true. That's true.
yeah. And the Switch I think is a little bit different. Like I don't think it's going to sell as fast as the Switch 1 did based on
No
price
way.
alone. It's
No
not an
way.
impulse buy for families like the Switch 1 was. There's no way.
Yeah, because $300 that can be an impulse buy.
It can be for
You know?
family. Yeah, exactly. They can
If-
justify that.
Yeah. That's why we have fucking 4 of them in the house, right? But I'm not going to have 4 Switch 2s. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
No chance. There's no
That's
chance.
actually a fair point. The fact that those are like reasonably priced will cause you to buy more. Obviously, you know that makes sense. But with the way that the Switch 2 carts are priced, I may be interested in 3 or 4 games, but I'm only going to buy 2 because they're like $10 to $20 more. So it's not that big of a jump, from the initial pricing, but when it adds up real quick.
Yeah, it does.
When you're trying to.
Well, I wonder if Nintendo's going to do like Sony did this for a couple of their games. Pardon me. Where
no dying, Jeff.
Yeah. Okay. Where they offered like the $10 upgrade, but the shitty thing Sony did was raise the price of the PS4 versions of those games, or really hid them in the store when the PS5 upgrades came out. I wonder if Nintendo is going to do something similar because, like Metroid Prime 4, like I already have a Switch. Like Switch Online is not expensive. Like it's by far the cheapest subs like out of all of them. I think it's like what, $25 for like a year or something like that, or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Unless you get the expansion pack, then it's more.
Yeah, then it's a little bit more. So like, can we just buy the Switch 1 version of Metroid and then it just automatically get the upgraded to the Switch 2 for the same price, for the like for essentially free, even though it comes with subscription? Or is it going to be one price for Metroid Prime 4 and be $70 or $80? Because then that's going to stop people. Then all of a sudden Switch 1 games go up as well. Like, do we know how much Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are for the Switch 2 version specifically? Are they on?
They would have to make it only $10 more than the Switch 1 game, right?
But yeah, but my point is, what's stopping people to just buy the Switch 1 version, and then if they already have, because most people probably have Switch Online, and you just get that upgrade for free.
Right, and that's what I'm getting at. It's like you can't charge so much more for it, considering you're going to have other ways to have it available. It's like are they going to go and raise the price of Tears of the Kingdom on Switch?
That's what I'm saying. That's what Sony did.
Oh, that is true. They did do that.
So like for Horizon, they had it on sale for like so long. Even had it, I think, on Plus or something like that. And then when the upgrade, whatever came out, of course you can go buy it retail for a lot cheaper, but on the store they put it to basically full price minus $10.
Yeah.
So that's going to piss off a lot of the Switch 1 owners, because that's going to price out some people. I mean, it's not going to price, like for the big games, no, because it's Nintendo. Like Donkey Kong's still going to sell a lot. Mario Kart's going to sell. It's going to sell basically 1-to-1 for every one of these that sells on June 5th is release date.
I would not expect the pack that does not come with Mario Kart to sell a lot.
No, and they did that strictly by design, because you're saving $30 from buying that alone. so they don't intend to sell a lot of those fucking at all. But I don't like the device looks premium, like it looks good. The specs seem
It
good.
really
Like
does. Yeah.
Digital Foundry, I mean, they've done a breakdown. Like the screen, it's not OLED, but they still a lot of people have said they think it like with the HDR and everything and the size of it, it's a very very nice screen. It feels more premium. It's got more heft to it. It doesn't like the Joy Cons don't feel as plasticky. Um, and I kind of want that, but I'm not happy about it. But we don't know when we can even pre-order these. It could be Friday. It could be next week. It could be a month before launch. It could be May 5th. Who knows? So Chris, you're definitely out for sure. Before we go on, we should probably hit some of the listener stuff before we.
I'm almost definitely out. Yeah,
definitely out. Yeah, I'm not happy about it, but I'm in. I mean,
I can't justify it. I can't justify supporting them increasing the price of their games by $20 minimum. You know, especially when they're still a generation behind. I just don't.
I know, I get it.
I don't see it
for sure. It's 100% valid. 100% valid. Like I'm selling my Switch stuff. I already have I'm putting it up on eBay, and then like I said, I'm going through some of my stuff I don't touch. Because it was a hard sell to Tanya. Like she was all for it, and then I told her the price of it because here it's $6.99. Yeah. So I mean, with the conversion, it's not too bad. It's kind of expected, but yeah, she was kind of oh really?
Well, I mean, so it might be $6.99 here too, Jeff. I have no idea at this point.
Yeah, because the tariff thing where you haven't directly said it, but they're trying. Apparently, the big manufacturers, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, have been appealing and being see if they can get exempt from it or whatnot, and see what happens. But that is gonna put quite a big price tag on it over there.
25% to Japan right now, right? I think that's what it is.
So yeah, but it's higher. I think in Vietnam, which is where Nintendo moved their manufacturing to avoid higher tariffs, and I think it's higher on Vietnam. So some of the parts that's being done in Vietnam, it's higher than 25%. So you guys could be looking at $6.99 US.
Yeah,
and that's if the tariffs do affect us in Canada, then yes, that makes me go from a day one to a no. Because that's too much. I can't justify that.
I can't imagine it will. They'll figure out a way to ship directly to Canada, so they don't have to worry about it.
Vancouver's right there, BC.
Yeah, and it's it's not like you don't have coastal cities that can take it, but
exactly.
You certainly wouldn't be the first country to say they're doing that already, right? There's already European countries that are saying that they're going to start trading directly with Canada. So.
There's creative ways around it in certain aspects. So we'll find out. Well, let's get back to some listener feedback here.
Yeah, go ahead. Do you think there's any chance in hell that Nintendo eats the cost of the tariffs?
No, not at all.
They're charging you $80 for a digital game and $90 for a no. There's no way.
Okay.
Yeah,
they don't need the cost for anything.
No,
dude. I don't think they've sold anything for a loss in decades.
Yeah.
They showed that game, that one that's Welcome Switch 2 or whatever the hell it's called.
And they want to charge you for that shit.
For an instruction manual.
It's fucking Astrobot Playroom.
It's Astrobot, that's right.
And it's they're charging $8 or $10 for that thing. That should be installed.
That should be installed already. Yeah.
Which too? It tells you the
Astrobot was fucking free. It was incredibly fun. Yeah. And it led to a goddamn franchise, right? So, all they're doing is putting
you about the system that you just bought. You've already sold it. It's so dumb.
It's very dumb.
Oh, sorry, some little tidbits here. They also announced a FromSoft exclusive, the Duskbloods, which looks quite a bit like Bloodborne. I didn't think it did originally, but then when I started looking at the trailer again, I'm like, that does look a lot like Bloodborne. Looks like Yarnum up in that bitch.
But if they
that's going to be a system seller for some people, man.
Sorry, what you said, Jason?
If they made Bloodborne Cart, then I would pay $80.
Yes. It'll be a system. I was excited for it till I heard it was a multiplayer game. Then I was kind of I don't know.
Is it multiplayer only?
Yeah, it's PvPvE or whatever.
Oh, so it's just an online. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not a single player game as far as we know. So, but that is exclusive to the Switch too. And Hades 2 is console exclusive to the Switch 2 at launch, so it'll launch on PC and Switch 2 whenever they reach 1.0 or whatever. So
I'll just
similar to
play
the
it on my
first.
Steam Deck. And that's really what this boils down to. It's like, can
Well,
I
yeah, if
live
you have a
without the
Steam Deck,
Nintendo?
there
Can
you
I
go.
live without the Nintendo proprietary stuff? You know, because honestly, outside of that, you know, and finding like cheapo fun games to play, that's really all I would use it for. So
Cool.
yeah.
Well, let's get to some community feedback here.
All right, let's do it.
Actually, Chris, you want to take the first one? That's really long, and I just want to read
Chris,
a long
you
one.
read the long one.
Yeah.
All right, so this is from Light Edge, and he said, began watching that direct expecting to plunk down a pre-order, but came away disappointed. The price is a bit too high, although this is offset by Switch trade-ins. $80 for Mario Kart and Switch 1 port-ups is insane. Not big on more games not getting full cart releases. Having digital key carts is stupid. On the positive side, Mario Kart looks great, and I'm interested in Donkey Kong, apparently being made by the Mario team. 4K 60 frames and 1080p 120 frames options are great to see. Love seeing Switch 1 games being enhanced, but would like more info on how Switch games in general will run on the Switch 2. Apparently, all games should see some kind of performance improvement. Good to see plenty of third-party support right out of the gate, although I'm concerned about how some of these games are going to run since frame rates didn't seem too hot on some of the footage. A lot has changed since the original Switch was released. The big thing for me is PC handhelds, including the Steam Deck. I have all third-party games shown that I want already, and that just leaves Nintendo stuff. I'm sure it will be worth it in the end, but I'm sure I'll get a Switch 2. But this was not that great of a reveal overall, in my opinion. I mean, what he said is pretty much how I feel, 100%.
And if he has a Steam Deck, you have a Steam Deck.
Yeah,
it makes like that was the thing I was weighing at too, because I was looking at getting one of these PC handhelds, and it was like, well, I can get those for the games that I already am playing on console, or is it the Nintendo thing? And that's what I think a lot of people could be weighing out, because I can see people being like, well, if I really don't need the Nintendo stuff, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I can get like a Legion Go or a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally or what have you. Yeah.
He also brought up the frame rates of some of these games that they showed off. Ostensibly, they're all docked that they showed off, but they were still like kind of low resolution, little flat as far as the textures are concerned. So they're not running, as well as a PC or anything like that. But of course, but at the same time, it's still kind of a bummer, that it's a new system and it's still so underpowered.
Yeah, and we have to put things in perspective. I mean, the Switch 2 is a portable system. Like having that much power as a portable is pretty impressive. Yeah, but it's still hard to justify an $80 game when it's essentially a last gen game. And that's one of the things that's getting me the most right now.
They showed a lot of third-party stuff, and a lot of those third-party games you can get for like $10 on Steam.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you're
even the better stuff or the newer stuff that's out, you're going to be right now. You can get it less on another console than what they're going to charge on the Switch 2. So
well, not the third-party stuff so far has been the standard pricing. Yeah,
has it?
They haven't gone to the 80 and 90 on there yet, but they will for sure. Like let's not kid ourselves; it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This next one comes from Tornix. He says, I'm in on day one. The presentation definitely surpassed my expectations, even my best case scenario expectations. Technically, especially the handheld specs are impressive. All the new first party stuff has me super excited. Super excited. I don't see myself going in on too many of the third party options because I own a lot of the other consoles. Maybe a double dip on Elden Ring though. So we kind of touched on that too. Bloodborne is one of my all-timers. I was always that guy for asking for a remake or sequel in every showcase. Dustbloods, aka Legally Distinct Bloodborne, Totally came out of left field and blew me away.
I like that. Legally distinct Bloodborne.
I think it's unfortunate that the price has totally dominated the discussion, but I get it. I haven't seen the price in Canada bucks yet. This is before they announce that, I guess. But we're probably looking at $100 games. That'll sting, but it hasn't killed my excitement for the games themselves. Above all else, they put the cow in Mario Kart. That's true. That's awesome. Good luck for anyone trying to get in on the day one pre-orders. Yeah, so he's
on board. I was just gonna say, you're not the only that guy when it comes to Bloodborne.
No. I'm just starting to wonder now if FromSoft is like, there's something going on between them and Sony, because I don't get it. Why would they make something that's so like
distinctly
Bloodborne, legally distinctly Bloodborne, that would be exclusive to the Switch too? I don't get it.
Money, they've got Nintendo bucks.
That could be it. And that certainly could be it.
They've also been, like, if you look at their output, they've had something kind of major coming out almost every year for like the past like 7-8 years or something like that. So yeah, that's why we're not seeing a Bloodborne PC port, and we get Duskbloods instead. It's a little disappointing that it's multiplayer only, but still, that was a hell of a showpiece during the Direct. That was really cool. That was a good get.
Yeah, and it's how rare are third-party exclusives just in general right now.
They're getting rarer and rarer, and Nintendo got a couple of them for this. It seems. I can't remember the other ones, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see when that hits. That's 2026, I think they said, right?
I think
that sounds right.
Duskbloods. Jason, you want the next one?
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to help me with the name. Is it Svek? Svek. I've been the devil's advocate in regards to Nintendo of late. The Switch One has not appealed to me nowhere near as much as I expected or hoped. So my hype for Switch 2 was not much there. But I do love classic Zelda and Metroid. Not a fan of the new Zelda formula, and Dread was very mid for me. So I was hoping to be surprised with remakes or proper ports of Zelda classics. All we get is the inferior GameCube version of Wind Waker, and it's locked behind a subscription. It's almost a bad joke. Revealing all the ports being dumped on it of last-gen games does nothing for me. MP4 looks good. Mario Party 4? Yeah, Mario Party 4.
Metroid Prime 4.
Metroid Prime 4, okay, all right. Yeah, they're going to re-release Mario Party 4.
I was wondering about that. I was like, I don't think that's what he's talking about, bud.
Nope.
I wouldn't put it past them, man, the way that they're going.
But it's not system seller good. Not at that price. And especially now, what with the handheld PCs dropping of late, especially the inevitable Steam Deck 2 around the corner, so far I have zero interest or zero desire to put money towards the Switch 2.
Yeah, we didn't touch on that actually. So they did announce that GameCube is coming to the Virtual Console or whatever you want. I know it's not called Virtual Console anymore.
Listen, there's a couple of games that they could drop on there that will totally make me upgrade to the expansion pack. Because I don't have the expansion pack right now. I just have the family online.
Which games?
It's Phantasy Star Online. Like I would fucking play that again. Like if they had online and let you play it on the Switch.
Yeah.
Like fucking yeah, I'm there. Well, wait, didn't they say GameCube was exclusive to Switch too?
Probably, yeah. Because all that stuff runs on emulation, I think. So probably.
Yeah. Skies of Arcadia. Like that would be one that I would jump at because I don't think that's been re-released since Legends on GameCube, right?
I don't think so either.
And there's probably a couple more, but those are the two that jumped out at me.
Dude, this is a giant middle finger to all the fans too, because they've been wanting that Wind Waker HD remake and Twilight Princess remake on Switch for forever. And this is the version of Wind Waker they're getting first is blasphemy. Like it's the same game, but they added so much quality of life stuff to the Wii U version, and that's insulting.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Holy shit!
That's like, what the fuck? Why? I mean, we know why, because they're gonna wait till there's more Switch 2s out there,
Yeah,
and then they're gonna release them.
put it out. Yep.
Yeah, exactly why.
Well, to speak about emulation real quick, obviously they're like emulating like GameCube and previously, but this is also a backwards compatible Switch 2, meaning that you can play Switch 1 games, but it's not a strict hardware backwards
Yeah,
compatibility. There's software stuff mixed in with it, so it's not compatible with all titles, which
no.
is kind of a bummer. But there's a pretty sizable list out there that of stuff that will not work or will not boot or has problems after boot. So
Doom Eternal doesn't run on the Switch 2 right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
And there's a bunch of first-party stuff too. Like I looked at the list, nothing really caught my eye for something that I'd be like, "Oh, that's a deal breaker" or anything like that. But it's a bummer because, like Jason said, it's not 100% hardware backwards compatible. They're using some emulation and some software stuff for this.
So it's like stuff is not going to be immediately available. Not everything is going to be, but they're going to have to put some work into compatibility, it seems.
Yeah, definitely.
So there's one thing that I forgot to bring up. I'm going to wait until we get to the end of the emails just in case anybody mentions it. But, if they don't, circle back and ask me if I forget.
Gotcha.
So this is from Glenn, Kill9. He says, I'm out. My OG Switch doesn't get much use as it is. And for the price point, I just cannot justify it. Call me back whenever another Zelda title comes out, though. I'll dive in a couple of years after that.
And still pay the same price.
Yeah, probably. That's how I feel too. I mean, I even with the Zelda though, it's like you guys. I was pretty disappointed overall in Tears of the Kingdom. So I don't know.
I liked it, but I think I'm ready for them to do something different for the next one. Or
I think I'm ready for them to go. Yeah, to at least build on the old formula. That's what I want. It's like I want more of. Like I don't mind. I don't mind what they're doing aesthetically with Tears, but like I want it to feel like Zelda, and it doesn't feel like Zelda.
I can understand that.
All right, what's next?
This one's from Nogric. He says, once I scroll down on this this thing right here.
Sorry, I didn't make the text real big because of my eyes.
Oh no, I can see it. That's perfect. Okay. I just didn't scroll down on my document. I'm definitely not a day one buy. While Nintendo's first party stuff is usually great, I cannot justify another $450 machine that I'm going to have to pay $70 to $80 a release for new games. Mario Kart World looks fantastic, but that is really the only thing that I want right off the bat. Those first party titles hardly drop in price either, so $300 would get me to consider it. But at $450 to $500, I'd rather get a Steam Deck or however many handhelds I can get off Temu or wherever Jason keeps getting those things from.
It's going to be black market pretty soon.
That's so true.
All right,
oh my
Jason.
God.
Yo, this
I was
is
going
from,
to say, but that is so true. Like Switch 1s are still the same price as launch right now. And that's one of the reasons why I can kind of like I'm selling mine because I can still get a really good price on them. So it's like that's the only upside if you want to trade it. I think Shfake might have said it too, or it might have been Lightage who said about the upgrade value, like if you want to sell your existing one or trade in. But that shouldn't be the main thing of like getting one of these is be like because that doesn't even cover like half of the price, at least in Canada it doesn't. So
yeah, you're right. I'm looking at it right now. That's
another Steam Deck though.
Regular Switch is still available and it's $300.
Yeah.
If you want the OLED model, it's $350.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you want the Switch Lite, which I think is bullshit, it's $250. So
yeah,
Switch Lite should have been $200 in my opinion.
Switch Lite, yeah. A buddy of mine was like, "What should I get? The Switch Lite or the?" I told him to get the regular one because it can hook up to the TV, and you never know, you might need it one time. And then I remember he texted me like a while back. He's like, "Hey, is there any way to get my Switch Lite to hook up to the TV?" And I was like, "You fucking son of a bitch!"
Wait, the Switch Lite is $200.
Is it?
Oh, is it?
Did they drop the price on the Switch to Switch Lite?
No idea. I've never even looked at that thing.
I'm looking at Amazon right now. The blue one is $200. The gray one is $190.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess for that price, it's not bad. Yeah, it's a portable.
Yeah, Switch. I think that's the price point I think it should have been at to start with. Yeah. The yellow one is is 200. Yeah, they're 200 now. I didn't know that.
Well,
News
now
to me.
that they've done that, they're going to win the wars.
Hey, the people that are saying they're getting it day one, including us, we could have egg in our face if they do a 3DS thing, and like 4 months after launch, they drop it by like
It's true.
They dropped the 3DS by like $150 or something crazy. It was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
And we got the ambassador program for all of us who bought it
Remember?
early.
Yeah. Those are the days. The ambassador days. This is from Jared O. J.O. Good initials. I'm definitely interested on the technical side and form factor, but definitely not going to go for day one. I'm going to give it time for the library to settle in for a year or so, or maybe catch a slight deal around the holidays, since that'll be a fun one to play with my son. I'm only buying one, Griffin, so we
Take it out of his
share.
college fund.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Do you want to graduate or do you want Mario Kart?
Yeah. Oh, God. Thank you, Jared.
All right.
Sass Bob.
Yep.
He says, I can't really believe they brought, they thought two gaming mice, basketball, and wheelchairs would be a compelling idea. I thought they would have some sort of party game that would integrate those in a fun way, especially with the haptics. Something like a WarioWare-ish. Kind of intrigued on the included GameCube library, though. Well, Sass Bob, that is a shit take of the day. You won that award.
I was going to say, like, listen, it's probably not something that I would personally want to play. However, I am someone who thinks representation is important. And if there's someone out there that thinks that they would get entertainment out of being able to play, like maybe there's people in a wheelchair that want to be able to play it that way, I think that's great. Like, I don't have any issues with that at all. Is it an unusual idea? Yeah, but I applaud them for that. Like, I think that was it was bold. It was a bold move, and I'm hoping, of all the things that they're doing, I'm hoping that does relatively well.
Well, I don't think, like, I'm just throwing shade at Sass Bob because I have to do that every time his name pops up.
Well,
I don't think he was doing it because it was wheelchair basketball. I think it's because, like, that basketball game, like, it just looks drab. Like, it looks fun. Like the mechanics look fine. It looks fun to play, but it looks like it's just very gray and muted and just doesn't have that Nintendo look to it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even look like a Rocket League type color palette or like look flashy. So I wonder if they're going to like spruce that up a bit, and the mouse thing. So they just show up so you can use a mouse with this thing too, which I think looks very uncomfortable to play in the mouse.
Yeah, I have a feeling that there's also going to be an opportunity to use both sticks. And I think that would probably be the better way to play it, just in general.
Yeah, I gotcha. So you can have the option because and you can use it on your legs apparently, like on your jeans or something, or on your pants. But I just don't see that being, and because it's vertical, it's so vertical and thin. Like, I just feel like when you're moving horizontally,
they'll have an accessory that makes it more like a mouse. You know that's going to happen.
Oh yeah, they probably will. Like, with like
it'll be like $10 each, and you'll just slide the Joy-Con in it, and it'll just be like a little mouse. And that's absolutely going to be there. It's not already there,
but it's going to happen for sure. If not them, third parties will definitely do that.
Okay,
he wants to play his Wind Waker on the GameCube emulation, so have fun with that.
Let's see. Evil Pirate John says, I'm in for day one if I have the opportunity. I don't fully understand the $80 games, though. That's nuts. I agree. If it wasn't for the $80 games, I would probably also be in on day one. But I think that's really what's pushing me away at this point.
Totally, John. I think people got the sticker shock of the console first, but then when they saw the games, then it was like, whoa. Like, this is too far. And I kind of agree with it. Yeah, this is out of hand. Like, hardware, you can kind of always justify with what you're getting. And it's impressive. Like, I watched that Treehouse thing that Jason mentioned earlier, and it does look impressive, a lot of the games. Like, the difference between the Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild is, like, it is tangible. Like, it is a very big leap. For anyone who's already done that on their PC, you probably already know what it looks like. I personally haven't, so this first time seeing it, I'm like, oh wow, this is what it should have looked like at the beginning.
Yep, I can't wait. Noble Panda says, depends on how far down in that wait list, the wait list, my Nintendo members I am. Either way, I'm putting away money for it starting now. Yes. Get your second job.
Did you see that they said that today? They
Did
didn't
they
say
really? They did
they didn't
not.
say the second job thing, but they said exactly what Don Matrick said when the Xbox One was coming. When he said, "Well, the Xbox One costs this much money. What do you say to people who might not have that at launch? Like, well, we have another, we have the 360 for those people." Nintendo said that today. They said,
"Oh, we have the Switch One for those people.
We have the Switch for the people that can't get it on like day one
Yeah.
or whatever, get it day one." I'm like, oh my god,
Not cool. Not cool.
not cool at all.
Not at all.
This last one from Drowsy Caro, and this one, I think he took the words out of my mouth personally, probably some others, but he says, "Day one for me because I have no self-control or self-respect."
That's the key there. Self-respect. Yes.
Most of the time, I certainly resemble that remark, but they apparently hit the right trigger for me. So
yeah, that's all it takes sometimes, man.
Yeah. So they did not mention the other thing. Why is it region locked? Are we going back to this?
To stop importers, probably.
Yeah.
I don't like. Please don't do that. That's dumb.
Yeah,
That is fucking dumb. They don't
want people because it's $100 cheaper in Japan to start with. That's before tariffs, so they probably don't want people importing.
And that's the thing.
Japan.
It's like what's interesting is that a lot of people thought, oh, they must be pricing it that high because of the tariffs, and then and because it was $100 cheaper in Japan, right? So, and now they're like, oh, we got to hold on pre-orders because of the tariffs. Wait, you mean it's fucking more?
I think we had this exact talk actually in the Discord, which if anyone's listening or watching, please come join. We have these discussions usually while these things are happening. I think we even said, like, does that price include that must include the possible tariffs that are going to affect? Because there's no way. And then nope,
nope. Apparently not.
That was pre-tariff. So the
I
region locking sucks, man. Like I don't do a lot of importing or anything like that, but a lot of people do, and there's a lot of Japanese games and stuff that people like to bring in here and play.
It's just like the Super Nintendo. Like you have to trim off the edges of the SD card.
So you can put it in. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah. It's an easy mod.
The N64 was that way too. As long as you know.
Yeah, Genesis was the same way. Shave off the Mega Drive thing.
Shave off the Mega Drive piece.
Yeah, all you need to do is actually go into your Switch 2 and change your location to Japan. And
Japan, that's right.
Japan and New Zealand. Yeah.
Easy as pie. I feel like we're missing a bunch of little details, but there's so much to cover because we did this like technically like almost a week after.
Yeah.
But in general, like I guess we're kind of in the same boat in terms of the ethics of everything that they're doing for the prices. I think, right? Like no one, I haven't seen any. Oh no, that's a lie. I have seen people try to defend the prices, which is no. You can. I saw someone trying to be like
the prices.
The cost of development, cost of whatever. I'm like, the difference is like Grand Theft Auto 6. As much as that is probably going to be $100 or $90, that has more justification to it because that game's going to be like a $500+ million development
budget.
Like that's gonna be that's gonna be the biggest game ever.
It will probably it'll probably be the highest video game budget of all time at this point. So
this is what really chaps my ass is Nintendo made $4 or $5 billion last year net. So that's not gross, that's net. That's after taxes, after everything, like all their expenditures and everything, overhead and all that kind of stuff. They didn't have any layoffs that we know of. They're never announcing layoffs. They're never shutting down studios, at least in the last like how many years. Out of all of the publishers and platform holders that could live with not increasing their games or don't need to, it's them. And they're the first ones to make this jump. That's what really bugs me about it. Like it shouldn't be the case with them because it's going to happen with the other ones too. And there's still going to be layoffs and stuff like that. But out of all of them, Nintendo is the most cash rich out of all three of them for the division. Like obviously, but it's just, they don't need to do this. This is it's pure greed. It really is just pure greed.
That's what I was getting at too with the because of the fact that it's looking very much like they are their head's too big, just like in the Super NES days when they were switching over to N64. So I don't know. We'll see. Jeff, quick sidebar.
Yeah.
You were talking about Strider 2.
Switch?
Nope. No, I don't. I got 4 of them. I don't need another. You were talking about Strider 2. How much did you say you were thinking you could sell it for?
No, they are going to give it to me for this. Like their prices are, this is what they give you. It was like 78 or something like that, or 75.
Okay. Because average price that you can sell that complete on eBay right now is $122.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, I could probably do that, but then the whole, I guess the upside is you got to wait for it to sell. It might not sell. So
yeah, true.
I'll take the $80 guaranteed.
Yeah, 80 is still good, especially if it's for like a trade-in type.
Oh,
deal.
yeah, I would never get that on a trade-in for like going to like a shop or something like that. There's no way they'd give that much.
No. Cool. Gents, I think that's a show. What do you think?
All right.
I'm getting one.
Yeah, I'm Mario Kart is something else. I still to this day play Mario Kart on my Switch.
I play with my nephew almost every time I see him.
Oh wow.
It's fucking great.
We should play, Jason. There's
I'm down.
Does Griffin play?
No, a little bit actually. It was funny. They had we had a party at CBSI, and it was like a family day or something like that. So we got to bring in our kids and shit like that. And they had set aside a big TV for like a lot of the GameStop folks or GameSpot folks. And then Griffin just kind of rolled in and just started playing Mario Kart with them, and they're like, "Whoa, he's so good!" But they had the training wheels on, the bumpers and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it was.
We should all play it. Like it's still fun.
Yeah.
I still play it all the time with my nephew. Almost every time we see him, we play locally.
Game's good.
Good times.
Obviously.
I mean, I do have it. I do have the Switch one, so
yeah. I know when we had the Game of the Year discussion that year, I remember you didn't have it on your list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Again, it's like I think that I always thought Mario Kart was more of a game that is with, it's to me it's like a party game. That's kind of how I look at it. So it's not something I play in a single player scenario.
Well, now it's a party game where everyone has to bring their own beer because no one's going to be able to afford to provide the game and the drinks to be there. So,
there was a time at work where we did like a Mario Kart tournament, and like booked off a conference room, and hooked it up to the TV, one of the TVs in the conference room, and there were like 20, 30 people in there doing like a tournament. It was fun. But Mario Kart's still a great game. I certainly don't disagree there. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please tell a few friends about us. And if you are watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, and comment. All those things help us out a lot. And I'm sure there's some people that want to yell at one or more of us right now. So go for it. We're all about it. It's all good. All feedback is good feedback. Come over to Discord and hang out with us and chat. We'd certainly appreciate that. And that'll do it. So until next time, my name is Chris.
Shing! I'm Jason.
And I have no self-respect. Jeff.
Play your games, and we'll talk to you next week.
Peace.